All right, y'all, taking a look at SUI versus AVAX, the battle of the layer ones. Which one will win? And guys, I got to tell you, I don't care. I know some of you are going to argue fundamentals this, narrative that, partnerships here, real world adoption there, curing world hunger, you name it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to look at this strictly from a technical standpoint, okay? And you have to understand all the narratives you're being spoon-fed, they may or may not play out. Likely they don't, and if they do, they're probably not going to play out to the degree which you think they will. If this is your first cycle, you will find that it is far better to rely on technicals. What is likely to happen in the event that your narrative does not play out the way you think it will? And then if you get that narrative push, that's just a bonus. But if you don't, you need to know what you can likely fall back upon based upon technical analysis. And that's what we're going to look at here. Feel free to give me hate mail in the comments down below. I don't care. I really don't. Thumbs up the video, thumbs down it. It doesn't matter. Be sure to subscribe to the channel though. You're going to want to see these updates along the way. We're going to do SUI, AVAX, and other altcoin updates along the way in the next cycle. And if my opinion changes along the way, I'll be happy to admit it and tell you that. All right, so we're looking at it side by side. Let's go on and dive into SUI real quick, okay? SUI. SUI set a price all-time high of $5.36 back in January of 25. At the time, you had a $16.1 billion market cap and 2.7 billion coins. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Fast forward to current price. We're at about 75 cents, about a $3 billion market cap, and a 4 billion circulating supply. Now, looking forward to the next cycle, assuming we top somewhere in early 2029, depending on if and when, could be a little off, could be a little more coins, a little less coins, but you're going to have about 7.3 billion coins on the market. That is an increase of 2.7 times more coins than you had at all-time high. So, to reach your price all-time high of 536, you're going to have to do almost a triple market cap. You're going to have to do almost $40 million just to reach 536. If you don't, then you won't even reach all-time high again. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm saying this is a big uphill battle because of token unlocks, okay? Let's look at AVAX now. AVAX, you set a price all-time high. You have an extra cycle here for AVAX, so a little bit more history to look at. You have a price high of $151, excuse me, in 2021, market cap of $30 billion, circulating supply 220 million. Now, looking at last cycle, you came up with a massive underperformance. And you set a price high of only $65, and you actually underperformed in market cap too. Sometimes you can do a higher market cap, right? But price not be as high because you had token unlocks. That was not the case here. Now, you did unlock coins from 220 million to 377 million, but your market cap actually decreased as well. So you had money leaving the asset, okay? You did a retrace and down. Currently, we're at about just under $7. 431 million coins in the market. Looking at next cycle, you're going to have 550 million coins on the market, okay? Which is about 2.5 times what you had at price all-time high. So SUI is increasing by 2.7x, AVAX 2.5x, so pretty negligible difference there. About the same dilution of the market with token unlocks. So it should be a pretty fair side-by-side comparison. In order to do that, we have to look at market cap. You cannot fib these levels because you have had so many unlocks on each coin that a fib is not accurate. It's not linear. Price is not linear because of the unlocks, but it is linear on market cap. So let's look there. Let's start with SUI. Now, here's the good news for SUI. As of now, SUI is still in a bullish posturing. You have not taken out your lows in market cap, right? So what you can expect is higher highs, higher lows, and higher highs, right? Until that fails, that is your trend, right? So that's what you can expect cycle to cycle. Now, if you just hit a retrace and down, we'll reevaluate that going into the next cycle. But as of now, we can expect at least to match your previous market cap high, if not beat it, okay? Looking at AVAX, unfortunately, this was your last cycle. Ooh, sorry about that. This was your last cycle's bear market low, and AVAX has taken that out. So you have confirmed a bearish macro market structure. You did have a low, a high, a higher low, and then you went to a lower high and now a lower low. So you can expect this to continue, series of higher highs and higher lows. Now, can you flip it bullish? Sure, you can. You absolutely can. However, it's going to take some real world adoption, some sort of crazy narrative or fundamentals to come into play, which we don't care about. But as of now, from a technical standpoint, you are in a macro bearish structure on your market cap, which is going to translate to your price. And let's take a look at our predictions. So we'll go back to our side-by-side charts, and I'm going to turn these on for you now. Here's where it's going to surprise you. So remember, we just said that SUI is a bullish coin, bullish market structure on market cap. So it's bullish. And we just said that AVAX is bearish. However, I do think even with a retrace level, AVAX is going to outperform. So my prediction for SUI is SUI does a 1.6x your all-time high market cap. I think you do a $25 billion market cap. And if we flip back over there, you can see that is a retrace to the 1.618 Fibonacci level. I think that's what you hit right at about a $25 billion market cap. That is going to give you a price of only $3.42. And the reason for that is, even though you have a higher market cap than you did at all-time high, is your unlocks 2.7 times more coins on the market, so you're going to perform less. Now, I do think you're going to get a shot at lower prices here, probably somewhere around $5, or excuse me, around 55 cents or so on SUI. I think you'll get a little bit lower shot into this green box. And if you do from low to high, that's going to give you about a 6x return on your investment, okay? About a 6x. Now, looking at AVAX, I think you're going to underperform here. I think you're going to continue that bearish market structure. I think you're going to return to about the 786 retrace level, right? Which is actually probably a little generous. If you were to follow this trend line, which I'm not a trend line bro, you're only going to go to 382. So be prepared for an underperformance. But I do think AVAX has a really good crew behind it, a really good team, and has an army behind it. And I think you're going to do a little better, probably golden pocket 786, somewhere in there, 24 to $27 million market cap. I have you set at a $22 billion market. I said million, but I meant billion. I have you set at a $22 billion market cap with just a golden pocket retrace, okay? So kind of being a little conservative there. But even being a little conservative, that is going to give you a price of $40. And from the box down below, somewhere around $5, which is what I think you're going to get a shot at, a $5 AVAX, that is going to give you an 8x on return. So even with a bearish market structure and a less bullish AVAX, hear me guys, I think SUI is more bullish than AVAX. However, you're going to get waterlogged on price on SUI, and I think that AVAX gives you an 8x return on your investment from the lows, and I think that SUI gives you a 6x. So in my book, AVAX is the technical winner, okay? Let me know down below what you think. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you. I will see you guys next time.